It was India's real, well, as far as the GDP growth is concerned, for the year 25-26 is projected to be 6.3% to 6.8% according to the economic survey. The forecast suggests economic conditions will remain sluggish next year. This is the fundamentals as far as the domestic economy that remains robust and a strong external account, which has been calibrated, the fiscal consolidation and stable private consumption is what the survey that has been tabled by the finance minister this morning. And Nirmala Sitharaman has added that India needs 8% growth to be Viksit Bharat by 2047. My colleague Sakshi has the details.
Economic Survey 2025 has been tabled, and the broad highlights really for our viewers to understand. As far as the Economic Survey, which is essentially the report card for the state of India's economy, well, it says Indian economy is on steady growth path. So really, India remains one of the fastest growing major economies. The projection really for FY26 GDP growth is seen at 6.3 to 6.8%. So that's as far as the projection for growth is concerned. Unemployment rate, the Economic Survey says, has declined to 3.2%. Crucial to note here that it also says that inflation will remain under control. Remember, food inflation concerns have been persistent, and so therefore this projection really comes as a huge bright spot for the state of India's economy. Now also the Economic Survey also highlights how consumption could remain stable going forward. Remember, this has been a key concern as far as economists are concerned, that look, private consumption needs a boost, and the spotlight really on how the budget will boost private consumption. Interestingly, the Economic Survey also says India needs to benefit from artificial intelligence. Crucial to note here that it does state that the need for upskilling and reskilling is now more than ever before, and how India really needs to grab the golden opportunity coming in from artificial intelligence.
And to know more on this, in fact, we have Sanchita Mukherjee joining us to get us more. Well, very good news coming our way as far as growth and inflation for India is concerned. Your reaction?
Thank you so much for having me over here. What I would like to stress upon that overall the survey speaks about very bright numbers, which I'm very happy to note. India, in fact, remains to be the fastest growing economy in the world, and the amount of public expenditure on capex which has happened on manufacturing, on infrastructure, and giving a push to India's manufacturing sector is now we are reaping the rewards of that. But having said that, I think a more targeted approach towards agriculture will help. That is something that we can address and look forward to in the budget in terms of diversifying our agricultural economy from the plain vanilla crop cycle of pulses, millets, oilseeds, rice and wheat, to going towards more productive agriculture in terms of fruits, vegetables, certain unique horticultural products, high-yielding crop cycles, a concerted effort on all of that, on renewables, on energy creation, would actually give the value-added impetus to this economy is what we are looking forward to.
Right. Sanchita Mukherjee, economist and senior finance professional, business economist, as well as a managing partner at Talk the Walk. Thank you so much for breaking it down for us, but also share your thoughts on the indication that consumption will remain stable.
Yes, actually the consumption holds brighter notes. However, the middle class, I do believe, is feeling a little taxed because a lot of times what happens in the budget, if you see for the last 3 years, the taxation on the personal income tax has been 114%, which in the last 3 years, which is a huge number. And India's tax to GDP ratio is 19%, vis-a-vis 14.5% tax to GDP ratio of East Asian economies. It's a little bit on the higher side. I do believe understanding the middle class consumption requirements, understanding the middle class requirement of affordable housing, healthcare, education needs, all of that would direct the government possibly to redefine the middle class slabs and to possibly slash rates so that there's more money in the hand of the people and consumption can take off in a meaningful way.
Right. Also, we did hear as far as the growth rate is concerned, Sanchita, take us through the growth rate that we really need in order to be Viksit Bharat by 2047. We really need an 8% growth. So this really, is highlighting the growth rate that needs to remain robust at this very point in time in order to reach where we really need to as far as the level of development that we aspire to have by 2047.
Yes, absolutely. I think there's been a very concerted effort by the government in the last couple of years in terms of renewing the focus on manufacturing. In our generation, we never thought manufacturing would come of age the way it has. I mean, look at defense manufacturing, look at the railways, ports, highways being built. All of that has been fantastic. The construction activity, the impetus on PLI, which is production-linked incentives, have been great. However, having said that, we have a huge population, and in fact, we have a demographic dividend of a very young, sizable working population. Hence, allocation towards education, skilling, upskilling, in terms of allocation, significant, meaningful allocation to R&D, innovation. Right now, it's a very small part of the budget. Focuses on all of this would actually bring us at par with a new era in terms of an age of AI, where there is a fear of a large number of jobs being replaced. So hence, value accretion will happen in skilling and upskilling and implementation of these projects at a ground level in tie-up with private corporations. Large corporations would be very, very beneficial for the youth of India.
Right, Sanchita, also the survey, has reported that global political and economic environment will really play a critical role in shaping India's growth. If you would like to expand on that.
Yes, we are in a time and place of heightened geopolitical tensions. And with the president-elect of United States of America, Donald Trump, he's already spurred on a lot of the tariff wars across countries. I mean, every day is a day in which one envisages that some news about India would come into picture. We are not insulated from this kind of a scenario. So definitely, it is a challenging environment. In such an environment, to look at the export economy, to look at value addition in terms of how we can impact each and every one of our component in terms of rationalizing import duties for components manufacturing, rationalizing components for various products where the ultimate product will be exported out, is something that the government is looking at year on year on the budget. And we do hear of value additions. It is very important to know that India is operating as the fastest growing economy in a very challenging global environment. Hence, it's important to understand that we need to link wage increase and employment numbers, even with corporates and corporate taxation, to bring net profits at par with employment numbers in India.